Hello, beautiful Libran friends. Oh, this is going to be such an interesting chat today. I'm really excited to explore your energy, hang out with you. This is a really dynamic and potent part of the year for Librans. I think it's a really important part of the year because there is a lot of energy in your opposing sign of Aries. And when we have energy in our opposing sign, I find this such a great time to understand ourselves, how we're developing, how we're growing, checking in with ourselves. It's kind of the half birthday mark. It can help us kind of see things from an alternate perspective and get really clear on that. So the Sun and Mercury are going to be moving through your opposing sign of Aries. But this is a really interesting Aries season in general because we will have that full moon in your sign, which is going to be so empowering. It's going to be a great time to think about like who you are when you're just centered. You're not trying to be anything for anybody else. And you're just totally with yourself and relaxed in that. It's going to be a really beautiful moon for that type of work. I'm really curious to see what that feels like for you all. But this Aries season is going to also include your ruling planet Venus moving through Pisces, as well as Mars moving through Pisces. And this is going to be great for Librans because this is going to be all about healing. Connecting to your body, connecting to how you show up in the day. And this is such gorgeous energy. It's really here to support you, Libra, in resting your nervous system, in getting out of any cycles that may have kind of built up over the last couple of years with all the stress that's been going on. This is a great time to decompress some of those systems, allow some of those circular systems to take a break. We're also going to move into Taurus season, which for Librans, like once the sun moves out of Aries and into Taurus, we're going to have a new moon solar eclipse in Taurus. Mercury is going to be in Taurus. We have some really, really potent energy moving through your 8th house of transformation when we get to Taurus. And this is about release. And I did have a little note I just wanted to mention to you all that came up to me while I was sitting thinking about your energy, feeling through the Libran vibe. And it was this: where are you putting your energy? Notice where you're putting the work of that inner flame, that inner fire, that inner beauty that you have within you. Are you using a lot of it to worry or control yourself or to try and control situations? Believe me, I understand if that is you, if you happen to connect with that. I think I always am kind of like trying to go with the flow. But I have seasons of life where I'll realize how much I'm holding myself tense and rigid and using a lot of energy, attempting to kind of control all the parts and components, the bureaucracy, the paperwork, the phone calls, the family members, whatever. So this is a really great month to just notice, compassionately witness any parts of ourselves that are using a lot of energy attempting to save, control, fix. This month for you all, with that beautiful magical energy in Pisces, encouraging healing in the body, with the energy in Aries, encouraging you to see life from some fresh perspectives, and the energy moving through Taurus, encouraging you to shed a skin. This is a time about committing deeply. And committing to things that are deeply true and simple. This is not about piling your plate high or feeling like you've got to become 10 new things or like fix your life and suddenly be like working out and dating the right people. None of that. It's about simple, true things and deeply committing to that. And I love that so much. 2 cards wanted to come out, 3 of Cups and Ace of Swords. Yes, I love that. I love that so much. In general, the energy for you is quite supportive. High Priestess, there's that, to me, that Mars, Venus, Venusian wisdom moving through. Really potent this month. So even though we're in Aries season, and Aries season is so associated with kind of like extroversion and playfulness, flirtatiousness, free-spiritedness. There's some powerful energy in Pisces still at this time. And it is still doing huge things behind the scenes for you all. Once again, healing is big. Oh, Emperor came back out. Wow. Okay. Very potent energy. All right, I'm going to pull a final card from my Animal Totem Tarot to go with this chat today. And the gorilla wanted to come out. The silverback. Wow. And that is the Emperor. 2 emperors. Okay. Remember how I said commitment? Also, the Emperor card is an energy of Aries, of your component partner self, right? It's the counterbalancing energy to Libra. So this is really interesting. We're going to get into it here. Okay. 3 of Cups. I'm so glad this card showed up. It's so funny to me because this card often gets read as drama, which I think is a huge cultural artifact of the era we've been living in for many decades now. Because this card actually represents the 3 muses and things like truth, love, and beauty. It's about the commingling of beautiful elements that want to come together. So the first thing that I see here is friendships being beautiful at this time and being really important. There may be people that you can learn from, that you can have deep conversations with, who will inspire and light sparks and ideas and new art and new creative visions to just flow through you. And the gift of 3 of Cups, I think, is that we don't need to necessarily always fill our wells kind of isolated by ourselves. Of course, we all have to do our inner work and figure out, like how to feel secure in ourselves and how to find peace and how to be motivated and curious about ourselves on our own. But the 3 of Cups also suggests and reminds us that other people can help us do that too and access ourselves at deeper levels. And it's a part of the puzzle. So friendships are important at this time. And I think with healing, with nervous system healing, with inspiration, with creativity, and also with the work you'll be doing in Taurus season and eclipse season this month with healing and releasing, having like-minded souls around you, whether that's on a phone call or in some great creative environment, is going to be crucial for you. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's the thing. When I look at the rest of these cards for this reading, this is more about your journey to coming back to your center and not being scattered among 500 different paths, not feeling like you need to desire 10 different versions of yourself, not feeling that you need to splinter yourself into wearing 5 different hats. Every single one of these cards is about getting back to some core places, some core anchors, some core longings inside of you that are wanting attention and deep commitment. And that's what we have going on here. So Ace of Swords is gorgeous. This does herald some new cycles beginning. And there will be a lot of beginnings and endings happening simultaneously in April in general. It's going to be a time where these things go hand in hand. As we open one door, we're leaving something behind, right? As we step forward, as we choose one path, we're leaving something else behind. That's natural. The Ace of Swords is all about that, because this is about opening some new chapters, getting some truth, some honesty, some clarity on things, being able to have those communications and have those clarities, have those commitments, have those devotions from inside and also in our communities. But this is also about clearing anything that we can't bring with us. If we have commitments, ideas of ourselves, even clutter, in our, we have a drawer full of odd papers. The Ace of Swords is all about clearing that out, starting fresh. So there's a practical side to Ace of Swords, I think, in a way. It's like if you could sit down right now and tell me the 1 or 2 things, and that's it, 1 or 2, maybe 3 at the very far end, 3 things that are like your priorities, your visions, the things that you can feel in your gut, what are they? And, get really honest with that one. Now, we have High Priestess. And the High Priestess, when she shows up, there's something that needs to be heard deep within. There's something that is happening behind the scenes. So like not how you're like showing up, like how people may envision you, like when you're walking down the street or going to work or hanging out with people. It's something that's happening and it's invisible. And it's so interesting when the High Priestess shows up, because the work we do in healing, in the time when we are asleep or when we're journaling or when we're just being with ourselves, we don't really have a checklist where we can say, okay, did that, like we do with like finishing our emails or putting that workout in. A lot of times the healing we do and the reconnection we do and the releasing of trauma that we do, it's an ongoing process, one. And two, it's something that it's not about like accomplishing it. It's something that just happens, this invisible realm. However, it's so important. It releases so much of your energy, Libra. So if you are holding some trauma in your body, some exhaustion in your body from way back in the day, the last couple of years, even the beginning of this year, whatever it is that you're holding, the High Priestess is here to say it's important that you prioritize taking care of the trauma in your body, the trauma that is stored there, taking care of the parts of yourself that have been kind of on vigilant watch for your safety this whole time. This is a priority this month. And what happens when you take the time to do this, right? And just carve out that 10 minutes a day, right? Seriously, it doesn't always have to be like a 24-hour a day like healing session in order to do this work. It can be very small moments. It is going to release your energy to where it's meant to be, where it's meant to be used and going in the world. And this is very important for you because we're going to need Libran wisdom coming in the coming years. And we want you to feel whole and like you're allowed to be here now. And like you're allowed to exist here now. And oftentimes our past trauma selves, they're having a lot of conflicted, judgmental things trying to keep us safe, and they use a lot of energy. So the High Priestess is asking for us to take care of those parts of ourselves, sit with them, witness them, and help. And in whatever modality, therapy is great, somatic therapy, shaking, tapping, journaling, getting extra sleep. There's a lot of ways to approach this. We're each going to be different, but it's important. That's what I'm going to say. Now we got two emperors. And these guys, okay, on the one hand, I will say this. Emperor, for Librans specifically, this is about connecting with somebody, an equal, somebody who can see you from this other's perspective and also is an equal. This is your counterpart. So there is an energy here of connection, both in community, friendships, and creativity with others, and also in deeper partnerships, deeper committed partnerships. But I also think there's another side to this as well, which is, okay, the Emperor represents owning your space. This is the leader. This is the person who owns the responsibility and the commitment of being a leader and just takes that space. And healthily activated Emperor energy isn't going to be so much about domination or like forcing everybody around us to do things, right? Emperor energy, when it's healthily activated, is about relaxing into that sense of empowerment, relaxing into that sense of purpose, relaxing into that sense of I'm allowed to be here. Plain and simple. So Libra, you're being asked at a deep level to own your presence here. I know it can feel really overwhelming sometimes to live this human life. And I know you all are like brilliant and smart and can really look at things from a practical perspective and say, here's why everything's fine. I can tell myself this all day long, and you're really good at it. But I want to make sure that you're taking care of the part of yourself that is maybe having a hard time owning the space, feeling the judgment, feeling the guilt, feeling the worry, feeling the control, and comes and take care of that part of ourselves so that you can just be here, because there's something that is being asked that is wanting you to commit to it, is wanting you to show up to it, is wanting you to breathe life into it, is wanting your gifts to be shown here. There's a reason you're here. It could be lots of reasons. It can be lots of little things, but there are things that want to come out of you and be expressed. And the whole point of April is going to be basically to get you back in touch with that and get you really clear on that so that you can be here in this time, in this moment in the world that is going to be so powerful and so impactful in the coming years. There's a lot that's going to be happening in this world and changing and shifting. And we need the Libran wisdom. So that is why this is such an important month. And yes, there is connection. Yes, there is love. Yes, there is community. Yes, there is support. And there's going to be a deep journey with yourself and coming home to yourself and coming home to being held by the wider net of the universe that holds you this whole way through. So I'm so excited to see the Libran journey this month because we were not messing around with the energy and the messages wanting to come through for April. I'm going to be activating the full moon in Libra. I'm so excited to do that over on my Patreon. We're also going to be working through eclipse season together. We hang out every single week over there. I would love to see you in that space with me. It's a really lovely community and it's a place where I feel like I can really share my heart there. You can also find me on my Instagram. There's only one true Sarah Vrba, so I'll leave the handle so you know which one it is. There are some dupes out there. And of course, I'll leave my website and my email if you would like to get in touch with me. And if you enjoyed our chat, I would really appreciate a like, a comment, come hang out, subscribe, because it really helps me keep doing this work. And it's not the most fun thing to have to say that at the end of a video, but it's because I like you and I want to hang out and I want you to be around. So that's the only reason. But I love you all so much, Libra. I hope you have a beautiful April, and we will talk very, very soon for the upcoming Libra full moon.